So Stephen was kind enough to lend me his Sunn amp, and I'm not going to be able to do a full test because this thing is so loud. So if you're in the Calgary area, just maybe, you know, within the nearest 20 miles or something, you might want to just close your doors and windows and things. This is a monster amp. I'm going to run through a few tones, so I'm going to take you through the clean modes, and then I can't really crank the amp too loud because it's just a monster. I mean, I've got the amp set on 2 at the moment, and I'll push it as far as I can, but it's really hard to get it to break up fully, which is understandable because of the kind of amp it is. So I've got a rat put in front of the guitar. That's all I've got in the chain. Playing through PRS Custom 24, go through a few different pickups and a few different lick styles, and yeah, I'll see what you think. I'll twiddle the functions on the front of the amp, and yeah, check it out. Little demo of the Sunn amp. This is great, 100S. So we'll go through the clean tone first. Here we've just got the volume set to 2, which is very low, but this thing's a beast, even though it's you know a relatively low powered amp for the valve scene. And then we've got the treble, the bass, this contour knob here. So I'll go through each of those settings now, but I've got it pretty neutral at the moment. So the treble there, the bass there, bang in the middle at 5. Thought that was pretty neutral, and we'll just play a few chords and yeah, see what they sound like. So. So quite a mellow sound. I've got it on the neck pickup here. We'll just switch to the bridge pickup. You can hear there's quite a lot of articulation there. It's quite nicely ringing there, nothing's too muddied, so it's nice and clean and clear. If we switch to the kind of pair of pickups, jangly sound, which is nice. So nice, clean, preserved top end. I like the sound of that. It's nice and smooth, not too harsh. So we'll start to tweak the sounds a little bit here. I'm going to keep it on the bridge pickup, I think, actually, for this little demo. And we'll just crank the volume a little bit on this clean sound and see how we get. So we'll go up to 3. So we'll crank the volume just a little bit, and it's amazing what power you can get out of this thing. And the thing I love there is that the top end is still very preserved and clean and just chiming away just nicely. And that's just banging neutral settings. You know, that's all it really is. So we'll just crank it just a little bit more because I'm feeling dangerous. So we're starting to get a little bit more of a compressed sound, and that's just them power amps just kicking in. You can hear if I strum quite hard, giving us a bit more crunchy sound, which is going to be making a nice solid lead tone, and it just gives that extra bit of colour to the clean sound really. Nice and clean, but full sound. Go up a little bit further. I'm feeling 5 might be my limit here. So we're getting a nice breakup there happening now. We can actually start to play some meatier chords here. And that's really getting pretty loud. And we'll just push it just a little bit further to 6, just briefly, and it's really getting a bit loud here. We're just getting a nice, beautiful brown sound almost out of the guitar amp. I think if we go up to 10, we can hear things start to really pick up. almost starting to sound a little bit like a fuzz amp, just giving that weird low end. I think pushing it to 10 is probably a bit much for this amp. I think it's just starting to overload, but it's got that sound if you want that character. It's really giving you that meaty kind of low end sound. So we'll back off again down to about 3, just to keep everything nice and clean. So that's just pushing it nicely, all on the bridge pickup there. And even when we go to the neck pickup, we can hear, if we go to that brief volume change, nice and chimey back down to that clean sound. We push up to, say, 5.5. Feel that low end of the neck pickup really bringing it through and making it kind of just chime and sing with that low end, just waiting to burst when you just push it that bit further. We go up to 6.5. So you hear it's starting to get that really brown, bluesy, kind of full low end sound. So what we'll do now is we'll go back to the clean sound and we'll start to chime in some of these other effects. So it's very simple. We've only got bass, treble, and the contour. So we'll start to just push this contour. If we go up just a touch, maybe just give it a 2 of contour. You're starting to get this kind of high, kind of mid-ranged push and kind of a bell-shaped kind of honk to the sound. And really, when we start to push that a bit further, you make that a lot more prominent there. And it's starting to really sing and almost just have these overtones coming like harmonic content, just kind of pushing it. If we go up to the top end of the contour, we're kind of probably getting a lot of like treble push there. But it's not too much. It's just got that nice bit of bite in the high mid range. It's just giving it a nice sound. And we're actually still at very low volumes. 3 we're on there. It's that kind of nice, punky, kind of in your face, you know, slapping you around kind of sound, which is, you know, pretty cool. Let's back that contour back down again. See how we do on the neck pickup. Kind of that mellower low end is kicking in again just because of the neck pickup position. We're on 5 there on the contour, so I'm just going to shape through that and you can really hear that sound. Contour 5. I really like that clean sound. It's got like a low end beef to it and it's just got a chimey top end. It's nice. Go up to the 10. And on that neck pickup, it's just starting to push and distort it, kind of making a bit muddy there. So I think that's a little bit much for the neck pickup. So if we go back to 5, just nice in the middle, bridge pickup, and we'll start to play with some of these treble and bass features and see how they sound. So let's push the treble just a little bit to give us a bit more high end. So you start to get that real singing overtone note, kind of, the harmonics are really starting to come through when we push that treble just a bit. And what I love about this is just all amp, so it just sounds pretty awesome. It's basically got bass and treble, that's all we're using, and a bit of this contour shaper. And the top end is still, I thought it'd be a bit harsh, it's still just holding in there. So let's back that off just a bit to 5 again, and just push that bass. I just feel a bit excited about this low end going on. Oh, that sounds nice. It's just like this mellow kind of drive in the kind of low mids. It's just got so much meat to it. It's unbelievable. If we just maybe leave that bass there, push the volume just a little touch, and I think we might just get a bit more bite to it. That is nice. Such a nice kind of punky tone that's coming through there. Let's push this bass really hard now. Let's see how we get on. So we're getting a little bit of muddiness in the low end there, but I think it's just holding in there because that's quite typical of guitar amps when you push their bass tone, you know, too far. So we'll just back that off. I've found playing with this amp a bit that the sweet spot seems to be just below 7. It's just giving that nice low end, just giving it enough push and not muddying it too much, so it's nice. And I find the treble is just nice, just backed off from 5. But you've got to watch that contour switch because that gives you a little bit too much presence sometimes. This is quite a versatile amp considering that it's just got, you know, 4 knobs to turn and this contour thing that just does some incredible stuff to the amp. Just makes it sing with some nice overtone harmonics. It's really nice. So let's back the treble off completely, see what sound we're getting. It's not really losing as much as I thought it would. It's not like when you roll the tone knob straight off. It's just giving it a bit of nice bit of presence still in the top end. I love this amp. It's just amazing. Really singing. I mean, if we back that contour switch off, we'll really see what it's doing. It's really all about that contour knob. It really is. Just gives it that extra top end chime, which is just beautiful. It's pretty awesome. Let's be truthful. I just think a little bit more treble. The bass about there, the contour just maybe pushed a little bit further for that distorted sound. Did you see when we back right the volume down to 2? That just cleans up just nice, and if you just want to push it a little bit further, 3. Just that little bit of change just gives it that nice kind of singing like an orange kind of crunch sound. You can really hear it's completely different to like a Marshall sound or something, and that one 15-inch speaker there is, I think that's given us a lot of the low frequency presence that's really helping give this amp quite a fat sound really, so it's pretty cool. Okay, so I didn't want to do anything too complicated with this amp in terms of putting things between the guitar and the amp, but I remember Stephen mentioning this, you know, the rat pedal, which just gives that extra push. I mean, I love the rat pedal, but you have to dial it in with the right sound because it can sound a bit muddy and a little bit harsh if you don't have it dialed in correctly. It takes a little bit of playing with, but it is an awesome pedal if you just want to have this great distortion sound just with a click of a button. And it just really complements the sound that you get. I mean, let's go through that now. So with the rat, I've got the distortion set on about, let's say 11 o'clock, the filter's right the way around, getting to almost the end of the dial there at like 4 o'clock-ish. And the volume I've got kind of cruising where it's not really making any attenuation or boost to the sound. So I figured that out to be about 3 o'clock. 3 buttons, really simple, straight through into the amp. It's just keeping it very simple here. So I'll do this with the clean sound. And we'll put the rat on. So it's pretty awesome. A little bit too much top end maybe, I think. Just turn that treble down. I think just a bit too much bite on the top there. It's just got such versatile tone, going from this clean sound. And you can just hear where the rat is just complementing that tone coming from the amp. It's just giving that extra drive and kick. I just think it really sings with these kind of old-fashioned late 90s, 2000s kind of heavy slash chords. It's just got a perfect amount of bite and low end and kick, and it's just not too distorted, and the amp just, I think that speaker's doing a lot, and it's just an unreal machine, this. Just listen to that, the articulation that comes through from that amp, it's just doing the top end and the low end so tightly and so well, it's just a beast. I can understand why Stephen bought one of them. I think the thing that shines for me is just the articulation of the notes that come through, and it's really all coming from the amp. You've got a rat going before it, but the amp is just superb. Chime that you get, just push that contour a little bit more. What a beautiful amp. It really is something else. I have nothing else to say.